Hi, everybody. It's Miss Claw, and today we are online. It's crazy. I can't believe that we are virtual for the rest of the year, but that is okay. I know it may be a little disappointing, but we are still going to have so much fun. So basically, we've been talking about the Civil War, right? And so does anyone remember what the next thing we were going to talk about was? Yes, it was the Battle of Gettysburg. So can anyone tell me what they remember about the Civil War so far? Okay, yes, so it occurred for 4 years. It was from April 1861 from April or to April 1865. And then who fought in the war? Okay, yes. So it was the Union and the Confederacy. So just to give you guys a little kind of just so you can remember what you learned. So the Union is the North and they are against slavery. And the South is the Confederacy and they were for slavery. So there was a lot of fighting going on between them, which caused the Civil War. And basically, the North wanted slavery banned, but then the South wanted slavery to continue. So that caused tons of issues, which caused the Civil War. So moving on to the Battle of Gettysburg, often in wars, there's one battle that really helps a side win. And for the Civil War, that was the Battle of Gettysburg. The Battle of Gettysburg helped the Union win, which is the North, and it helped slavery be abolished completely, and it helped slavery just not be allowed anymore. And it was an amazing win for the Union. So I'm going to talk really briefly about the Battle of Gettysburg, and then I'm going to show you my script and give you directions for what I want you guys to do. So the Battle of Gettysburg again occurred between the Union and the Confederacy. So on the Union side, there's General George Meade. And then on the Confederacy side, there's General Lee. So I want you guys to remember those two names, and all of this is going to be in the script so that you guys can have a reminder of this when you work on it. So the Battle of Gettysburg occurred from July 1st to July 3rd in 1863. So it was right in the middle of the Civil War, and it really did help the Union win the Civil War overall. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Okay, so this is the script I created for you guys. So basically what my plan was for us in class, if we were still in person, what I wanted to do is instead of kind of just learning about the Battle of Gettysburg, I wanted us to act a play or act it out through a play. So I created a script of the Battle of Gettysburg, and there's 4 parts to it that I want to talk to you guys briefly about. I'm not going to go through the whole script, but you guys already do have this script. I emailed it to all of you, and it's also on our class website, so you guys can access it, so you can kind of build off of it and expand on it, which I'll explain more. So we have the introduction. For the introduction, I basically introduced General Lee and the Confederacy side, and then I introduced General George Meade and the Union side, and kind of why and how they ended up in Gettysburg. And then for the Battle of Gettysburg, I don't want us to talk about any fighting. What I focused on was how each side planned to attack the other side. So for example, the Union, they were on top of a big hill, so they were going to attack down. But then the Confederacy, they were at the bottom of the hill, so they wanted to attack upwards. So I kind of just introduced that, and you guys can do the same or change it if you want. We just don't need to talk about the actual fighting or the battle. That's just not necessary. And then I have July 3rd. July 3rd, again, remember, is the last day of the battle. So this here I talked about how General George Meade and his Union Army realized that they were winning the battle, which was a huge deal. And then I focused on General Lee and the Confederacy and how they realized they were losing, because this was a really big turning point, that the South was losing and the North was winning. And then finally, the last day was the 4th of July, which is the day after the Union wins. So here I just talked about General George Meade winning and General Lee being sad that him and the Confederacy lost. So remember, you guys already have this script, which will be really helpful for you. And there's some information about the characters, the dates, who the commanders are, so you guys can have this, so that you guys don't have to memorize this or anything. It's not necessary to fully have to memorize that yet. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be splitting you guys up into groups. So for the introduction, I want Tristan, Bo, Josh, April, and Joe to take the introduction. So what you guys are going to do is you're going to expand on what I already have in the introduction. You can make it shorter if you think it's too long. You can make it longer. And I want you guys to kind of add stuff to it or change it in some way. You guys can use some of the stuff I already have in there, but I really want you guys to try and make the script better in whatever way you think that is. So the next group is going to focus on the Battle of Gettysburg. Now, remember, it's not the actual battle we're focusing on. It's just kind of how each side planned their attack. So for this, I want it to be Megan, Ashley, Alyssa, Mike, and Josh. So for you guys, you are going to, again, you're going to just talk about how each side planned their attack and where they were when they planned that attack, which some of that is in my script, but you guys are also going to have to do your own research too. I'm going to talk about that more with everyone. Oops. Okay, so then the group that I want to focus on the last day of the battle, which is July 3rd. I want that to be Patrick, Sean, Debbie, Christine, and Carolyn. You guys are going to focus on that. And you're going to kind of talk about how the Union realized they were winning and how the Confederacy realized that they were losing the battle. Finally, the last group, I want you guys to talk about the 4th of July. So for this, I want it to be Claire, Margaret, Maeve, Danny, and John. You guys are going to focus on the 4th of July, the day after the Union wins the Battle of Gettysburg, which is a huge deal. And for the 4th of July group, you guys can also focus on the Gettysburg Address, which Lincoln gives on the 4th of July, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. I'm leaving this very open to you guys. Okay, so I have some websites that I want you guys to use for your research. I don't want you guys to just look up a lot of random stuff because sometimes there can be some false stuff online, and also sometimes the information can get too much. So I chose these websites for you to read so that you can write your part of the script the way you want it to based on these websites and the research that you do from these websites. So I'm going to take these and put them into the chat. Okay, here it is. So we have the first one. What else? And then the next one. Put those in there for you guys, so you guys can have those. And remember, these websites are also going to be linked on our class website. And I will also email it to you guys so that you have them, because I know that it might be hard to pull it up right now, but I'm still putting it in the chat in case anyone wants to pull it up right now. Finally, the last website. Okay, so the first website that I linked was Ducksters, which is a really good website. And so it talks about the leaders of the Battle of Gettysburg, the actual battle, the day after the battle, and the Gettysburg Address, which I talked to you guys a little bit about. And then the next website, the Kids National Geographic, talks about the battle, how it happened, why it happened, and kind of just what happened after. Then the next one is Kids Britannica. And this is a little shorter, but it is still really good. It talks about like the introduction to the battle, the actual battle, and then again, the Gettysburg Address the day after the battle. And then finally, the last one, History for Kids, talks about a lot of background to the Battle of Gettysburg, a little bit about Lee and what happens, the first, second, and third day, and finally the Gettysburg Address, the 4th of July. Oh, my apologies, everyone. I realized that I kept saying that the Gettysburg Address occurred on the 4th of July. That was my bad. I was mixing things up in my mind. It didn't occur on the 4th of July. I keep mixing this up, but Lincoln was involved on the day after the 4th of July. So you guys can talk about that, or you can just go straight to talking about the Gettysburg Address. It's really up to you. My apologies. So all of these websites are really good, and they have a lot on the Battle of Gettysburg. So I want you guys to use these websites to do your research for your parts of the script. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to share on my screen is where I want you guys to write your script. So this is Easily, and it's these really awesome templates where you can write anything on there that you want. You can make it really colorful, and you can also make it really, you can put a lot of pictures in there, and it's really fun. So what I want you all to do right now is to go to easel.ly and I want everyone to let me know when you are there. So it's EASEL.ly. Okay, is everyone there? Okay, awesome. So what I want you guys to do is click on create your free account. And you all are gonna put the email here that you want to use, okay? So everyone do that. And then you're gonna create your password. And when you create the password, you're gonna put the same password down here. And if you guys have any questions while you're writing all this, just let me know. Okay, so it looks like some of you are starting to finish. So after you're gonna click sign up. And then when you go in to Easily, you are going to see this. Hold on 1 second, sorry, it's loading a little bit slow. Okay, so this is what the homepage looks like. So you can start a blank template and add whatever you want, but what I really like is that you can click from any of these templates. So for example, here's a random one. Okay, so when you guys click on a template, you can erase any of the words that are on the template, or you can change any of the pictures. So for example, say I don't like this. I can take it away and take it off the screen and it's not there anymore. You can add your text here. You can add images here like people or like application. You can add photos, animations, or you can upload any photos. You can add text. You can change background colors. You can change the text color over here. And you can add charts or videos if you want. But what I want you guys to do is just choose a template. Here are some other ones. They have so many on this website and they're so awesome. So I want you guys to choose whatever you want. And then what I want you to do is once you have all your research gathered for your part of the script, I want you to write your script on here. And so you can make it look however you want. You can make it as simple as you want, or you can make it as complex as you want, as crazy and colorful as you want. But I just want you guys to have fun doing this. And I thought this would be a really fun way to present your part of the script, because then in a few class periods, in a few days, we're going to be presenting these. So I made my own template with the directions for this script. And remember, I'm going to email this to you, and this is on our website. So the first step, you're going to make an Easily account with me, and you guys already did this. And then you're going to research your script parts using the sites I gave you. We're going to do this tomorrow online in class so that I can be here to help you if you need any help. And then you're going to start writing your script tomorrow in class, and you're going to use Easily for that. And again, I want you guys to do this with me. So if we have to go into the next day, that is okay. I want to support you guys and really show you guys kind of how to use this Easily site, and also how to navigate through the other sites for your research. I want you to add fun pictures and colors, and then be ready to present your amazing scripts. So we're going to either present this in 2 class periods or in 3 class periods. It kind of just depends. We're going to just have a lot of fun with this and just take it slow. Okay. So does anyone have any questions at all? Okay, so no questions. So remember, we have the introduction, we have the Battle of Gettysburg, we have July 3rd, and then we have the 4th of July. And again, I am so sorry about my mistake with the Gettysburg Address. I know that the Battle of Gettysburg can be a little confusing. That's why I gave you all that really awesome research on those websites so that nothing gets mixed up in your head. So I really want you guys to have fun with this. So if you don't like my introduction at all, or you don't like how I wrote the Battle of Gettysburg or how I wrote the 4th of July, you can completely change it and make it however you want. I do want this to be at least 15 lines each. So 15 lines of dialogue, because I don't want you guys to make it too short, but you can make it as long as you want. Okay, so does anyone have any last questions? Okay, no, so remember, this is not for homework. We are going to be working on this in class tomorrow and maybe the next day if we need more time. Okay, all right, well, I will see you all tomorrow, everybody.